All right, lesson 2, we're talking about solutions to those pests that we just learned about. So this is underneath integrated pest management, which is called IPM. It's a decision-making process where observations including inspection and monitoring, are used to make pest control decisions based on predetermined management objectives. It's proven practical and economically viable. Basically, it's how they figure out what the best ways to take care of pests. So number one is first thing you need to do if you've got pests is identify. So figure out what that pest is. Okay, you have the internet at your fingertips. That's going to be your best resource, or maybe your county extension person, or maybe an ag teacher. Somebody is going to be able to help identify that pest. Two, you're going to look at observations. That means you watch and see what that pest does. And then you're going to apply your decisions in order to figure out the best pest control. So here's the 5 different parts: inspect, monitor and establish a level of tolerance, situation specific decision making. So we're going to decide what to do, application of pest management technique, evaluation, and record keeping. So, say you've got squash. So we grow squash every year. And we always have squash bugs that attack the squash and they end up killing the plant. So we watch how it kills. As soon as we see the eggs, we know that it's not long that they're going to take over the plant. So we're monitoring it. We may apply 7 dust, which is a common insecticide. So we may apply that on the plant to deter the plants. We may remove the the bugs by hand. So that's going to depend on the situation. If that plant seems too far gone, we may, let them have one squash plant so that it doesn't affect the other ones, or the other ones can grow for a little bit. And then we're going to record and evaluate, and that way we can make changes to next year. So the focus is to reduce the economic impact of pests and keep them below level that causes significant financial harm, because these pests can really cause some damage. If you know anything about the boll weevil, it is a pest that devastated the cotton crop in the 1980s and before, or even way before then. So it took out these whole crops in Louisiana and Texas and Alabama and wherever cotton was grown and wiped them out. And they could not figure out how to go about it. And they still don't have a great pest control over the boll weevil. And it caused millions and millions of damage. So let's talk about some methods of pest management. So there's mechanical. So you've already learned a relatively basic method of pest management. Hornworms, the best way is to remove them. That's mechanical. So whenever I was talking about the squash bugs, like just taking them away, that's a mechanical way to do that. Hand removing weeds, using a hoe to remove weeds, that's all mechanical. Here's some other forms of mechanical: mouse traps to get rid of those pests, eliminating access, so using a net or fence, diatomaceous earth. So that's natural product made of finely ground skeletons of fossil diatoms, and it's just algae, and it looks like flour, and it's harmless to people, pets, and wildlife. It cuts into the exoskeleton or hard outer shell of insects, and it leads to their death. So it's a great thing to put out. We always have it on hand. Insecticidal soaps. They're similar to the soap you use to wash your hands. You'll even find recipes to make your own. Commercial products are more effective and less likely to damage plants. They're effective environmental way to control many insects. So there's like a picture of a net. That's a mechanical way to control pests. It's non-invasive and environmentally friendly, and there are really no risks to people, wildlife, or other plants. They're just more labor intensive and time consuming. That's why people with large operations, they're not going to, somebody with 1,000 acres isn't going to go and hoe those acres for weeds, right? Like you would for just a little garden. So it's all going to be situation specific.